I never imagined my love would dwindle to this, a faint heartbeat in the humid haze of Savannah, where the air clings like a restless spirit and the past gnaws at your bones. At 45, I figured I'd be elsewhere, maybe not whole, but unburdened. Instead, I'm pouring shots in a dive bar on River Street, my nights blurring into sunrise, my days stalked by notes from a man I'd rather erase. Jonah. My ex-husband was a guitarist with a cruel edge and hands that left scars, seen and unseen. He's long gone, cast out years back, but his words still chase me, scratched in erratic ink, swearing he's never far. The bar is my cage, the clatter of bottles, my shackles. But one thing keeps me from shattering: Eli, my son. He's not my flesh, but he's my world. I took him in at 12, a lanky kid with hazel eyes and a knack for the violin that could silence a crowd. Now, at 22, he's my anchor, my mirror, the one who sees the woman I've nearly lost. Eli is a violinist, his bow weaving tales and speakeasies and shadowed venues. Where Jonah was a tempest, Eli is a tide, calm, profound, reeling me in when I stray too far. We've built something over time, a connection deeper than mother and son, a code of looks and pauses that keeps me intact. But I'm unraveling. Jonah's notes stack up in my desk, each one raw or more deranged. I'm pulling doubles, barely eating, jumping at footsteps. Eli notices everything. Tonight, I'm wiping down the bar, the jukebox humming a weary folk tune, when he slides onto a stool, his denim jacket damp with drizzle. "You're fading, Mara," he says, his voice soft, piercing the den. I muster a smirk, tossing the rag aside. Always a poet, kid. He doesn't grin. "You're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not you. What's wrong?" I avoid his eyes, polishing a spotless glass. "Life, Eli. It's rough." He leans in, his hand brushing mine, warm and intentional. "Not rough enough to break you. Not while I'm here." His words splinter something in me, a yearning I've tried to bury. I want to confess it all. How Jonah's threats make my skin crawl. How this city feels like it's choking me. How Eli is the only thing keeping my pulse steady. But I can't. Instead, I push him a cola and mumble, "I'm okay. Go play your set." He doesn't budge, his fingers lingering on mine, sending a jolt through me. "Meet me after your shift," he says, his tone a quiet demand. "I've got something to show you." I raise an eyebrow, cautious. What kind of something? His smile is half trick, half foul, the kind that'll wake you up. I should brush it off, but the way he looks at me like I'm still worth saving pulls me in. 1 a.m., I say. Don't be late. The bar empties, leaving only the buzz of the neon sign. I find Eli outside, leaning against a streetlight, Savannah's glow casting him in amber and indigo. He guides me through the city's maze, past swaying drunks and busker drums, to a weathered building tucked in an alley. The faded sign reads, "Starlight Music Hall." "What's this?" I ask, my tone sharp. He pries a plank free, exposing a dark gap. A ghost from the 50s, closed after a fire, found it hunting venues. I pause, the shadows inside eating the light. "We're trespassing." His grin widens. "We're taking it back one night, Mara. Let's steal something for us." My heart races, but I follow, drawn by the spark in his eyes. Inside, the air is heavy with ash and thyme, smelling of bourbon and charred oak. Moonlight slips through broken shutters, illuminating a stage draped in gloom. A violin rests in a corner, its strings frayed but defiant. Eli brushes it, coaxing a low, mournful note. "This place still breathes," he murmurs. I roam, my boots stirring ash, and spot a tin box behind the counter. I pry it open, finding a stack of letters, their paper brittle, penned in a woman's graceful script. Signed Lillian, 1953. I read aloud, my voice unsteady. I play for him, but he'll never see. My heart's a secret I can't speak. Eli turns, his eyes locking on mine, heavy with recognition. "She was trapped, like you." I nod. Lillian's words cut deep, raw, desperate, too close to my own. That night changes everything. Eli persuades me to return, to claim the hall as our refuge. After shifts, we sneak in, clearing the stage, scrubbing the bar, breathing life into the ruins. Eli plays his music, a thread binding us, sometimes soft and grieving, sometimes fierce and untamed. I read Lillian's letters, each a whisper of a love she couldn't seize, a drummer tied to another. Her words spark something reckless in me, a desire I've buried since Jonah. Eli senses it too. I see it in the way his gaze lingers when I smile, the way his hand grazes mine when we share a lantern's glow. Our nights in the hall become a ritual, a space where Jonah's notes can't reach me, where I'm not just a bartender, but a woman alive, wanted. But we're treading a dangerous edge, a heat in the pauses, the too long looks. I know it's reckless. No, I should stop, but the pull of him, of us, is stronger than my dread. One sticky night, Eli plays a slow, searing melody, the notes curling around us like mist. I sit beside him on the stage, our arms brushing, the air charged. "You're different here," he says, his bow stilling, his voice low, like you're finding yourself again. I meet his gaze, my pulse hammering. "You're the one showing me." His hand lifts, hovering near my face, his fingers grazing the air by my jaw. The space between us narrows, the world shrinking to just his eyes, his breath. For a moment, I think we might cross that line, let the tide sweep us away. But I pull back, my voice cracking. "We can't, Eli." He nods, his jaw tight, but his eyes don't falter. "I know," he says, soft but firm. "But I'm not losing you. Not to this city, not to him." The letters guide us, a mystery to unravel. Lillian's words hint at a secret, a treasure she hid for her lover, something to break her bonds. We search the hall, tapping beams, lifting boards. One night, Eli finds a loose panel under the stage. Inside is a silk pouch, heavy with a gold locket, etched with a star, a note tucked inside. "Sell this, flee." I couldn't. "You can. L double quote." My breath catches. It's not just a keepsake, it's a way out. Eli's eyes gleam. "This is our chance, Mara." I clutch the locket, Lillian's resolve sinking into me. She didn't escape, but we could. The next day, we take it to a jeweler on Broughton Street. He inspects it, nodding. "Pure gold, 1950s. $2,000, maybe more at auction." My heart surges. It's enough to shift the tide. Eli nudges me, smiling. Lillian's watching out for us. Back in the hall, we plan. The money's a down payment on a new life. Charleston, maybe, or Asheville. Eli's gigs are solid. I could scale back shifts, revive my sketching, the art Jonah crushed out of me. The hall becomes our war room, walls taped with maps, budgets, dreams. Lillian's letters sit on the counter, a touchstone. But Jonah's notes keep coming, each one uglier. One arrives with a photo of me leaving the bar, taken from afar. My stomach knots. He's here, watching. Eli finds me shaking, the note crumpled in my hand. He's not touching you, he says, his voice a growl, his hand on my arm, grounding me. We're leaving soon. I nod, clinging to his fire. We push harder. Eli books extra sets. I pawn some old earrings. We scrape every dime. The hall is a sanctuary, but it's also a risk. If Jonah tracks me here, if he finds this place, weeks blur, our nights in the hall a fevered blend of scheming and music. Eli's presence is a constant. His laugh, his touch, the way he watches me when he thinks I'm distracted. We're cautious, always stopping short of the brink, but the tension hums between us, a note that won't resolve. One night, as rain pounds the roof, he plays a melody that feels like a confession, raw and unguarded. I sit on the stage, Lillian's letters in my lap, her words blending with mine. You're not her, Eli, he says, his voice cutting through the notes. You're stronger. I look at him, my throat tight. Only because of you. He steps closer, his hand brushing mine, and the air crackles. I want to lean in, to let go, but I pull back, my heart racing. We're almost there, he says, sensing my fear. We're getting out. The threat grows. Jonah's notes turn vicious. He knows I'm plotting, says he'll find me. One night, I spot a figure outside the hall, his shape too familiar. My blood chills. Eli sees my face, grabs my arm. We're done waiting, he says. We sell the locket for $2,400, more than we expected. With Eli's savings and my scraps, we've got $3,000. Enough for a fresh start. We secure a loft in Charleston, a small place by the harbor, and set a date. 1 week.
The final night in the hall is vibrant, alive. Eli plans a private performance, just us, a farewell to the starlight. He plays a song that feels like our story, complex, fierce, hopeful. I sit on the stage, the letters beside me, lamplight flickering across the walls. When he finishes, he turns, his eyes blazing. We're free, Mara, he says. No more cages. I nod, tears burning, not from pain, but from the weight of it all.
He steps closer, and for a heartbeat, I think we might break every rule we've set. But he just takes my hand, his grip fierce, grounding. Let's go, he whispers. We leave at dawn, Savannah fading in the rear view as we head north. The Charleston loft is modest, worn floors, a view of the Ashley River, a nook for Eli's violin. We unpack our relics, Lillian's letters, the empty pouch, a lantern from the hall. That first night, we sit on the floor, folk tunes humming from a radio. Eli plays a soft note, his smile unguarded. This is ours, he says. I nod, tears falling, not from fear, but from freedom. Lillian's story ended in silence. Ours begins with a song. I look at Eli, my son, my savior, my partner in this escape, and know we've rewritten the melody. The river hums outside, boundless and alive, and for the first time in years, I'm ready to join it. The Charleston loft feels like a borrowed breath, its creaky floors and slanted ceilings holding us gently, as if testing our resolve. The Ashley River glints through the window, its surface a restless mirror for the September sky. It's been 3 weeks since we left Savannah, since we slipped from Jonah's grasp and the Starlight Music Hall's shadowed embrace. I thought escaping would carve a clean line between then and now, but freedom is messier than that. It's a fragile rhythm, easily disrupted by a stray note, like the letter I found slipped under the door this morning. Jonah's jagged scrawl unchanged. You think Charleston hides you? I'm closer than you know. My hands shook as I shoved it into a drawer, but I haven't told Eli, not yet. He's already carrying too much of my weight. Eli's thriving here. His violin is a constant pulse in our new life. He's landed a steady gig at a jazz club on King Street, a cozy spot called the Low Country Note, where his music draws crowds that linger past closing. I watch him from the kitchen, my sketch pad open, charcoal smudging my fingers as I try to capture the way his brow furrows when he plays. At 22, he's a force, his hazel eyes sharp with purpose, his presence a tether that keeps me from drifting. But the pull between us, that unspoken current from Savannah, hasn't faded. It hums in the quiet moments when he brushes past me in the narrow hallway, when his laugh catches me off guard. I tell myself it's just the intensity of our escape, the bond forged in survival, but my heart races when he's near, and I'm not sure what that means. Mara, you're staring again, Eli says one evening, glancing up from his violin case where he's adjusting the strings. His grin is teasing, but his eyes hold something deeper, something that makes the air feel heavy. I flush, smudging charcoal across my sketch. Just drawing, I mutter, flipping the page. He steps closer, leaning over to peek at the paper. A rough outline of his hands on the bow. That's me, huh? His voice is soft, and his arm brushes mine, sending a spark up my spine. I pull back, forcing a laugh. Don't get cocky, kid. He doesn't laugh, just watches me, his gaze steady. You're different here, Mara. Lighter. It's good. I want to tell him it's because of him, because he's the one stitching me back together. But the letter in the drawer burns in my mind, and I just nod, turning away. We're building something new, piece by piece. I've cut my bar shifts to weekends, spending days sketching the city's cobblestone streets and marshy edges. My art is a lifeline I thought Jonah had severed. The local papers are commissioning my work now, small pieces for their culture section, and it feels like reclaiming a part of myself. Eli's music is blooming too. He's composing a suite inspired by Lillian's letters, each movement a thread of her story woven with ours. We spend nights on the loft's tiny balcony, the river's murmur blending with his violin. Lillian's letters spread between us like a map. Her words, I play for him, but he'll never see. My heart's a secret I can't speak, echo in me. Her courage a spark that fuels our plans. But Jonah's shadow lingers. I check the locks twice each night, scan the street below for familiar silhouettes. Eli notices, his eyes narrowing when I flinch at a knock, but he doesn't push. Not yet. One morning, as the city wakes in a haze of salt and sunlight, Eli pulls the letters from their shelf. There's something we missed, he says, spreading them across the table. Lillian mentions a final gift, something beyond the locket. I frown, scanning her elegant script. He's right. A faint line in her last letter. The star gave the first, the soul holds the last. My pulse quickens. The locket was the star. I say, "What's the soul?" Eli's eyes spark. The hall. It's still there, Mara. My stomach twists at the thought of returning to Savannah, to the starlight's ashes and Jonah's reach. He's watching, Eli, I whisper. The letters wait, pressing on me. He leans forward, his hand covering mine, warm and sure. He doesn't own us. Lillian's gift. It's ours to claim. I hesitate, fear warring with the fire in his voice. One trip, I say finally. We're quick. He nods, his grip tightening. Always together, we drive to Savannah under a bruised sky, the road humming with dread. The Starlight Music Hall stands unchanged, its boards warped, its shadows thick. We slip inside, the air sharp with char and memory. Eli lights a lantern, its glow dancing across the stage. We search with quiet urgency, tapping walls, prying panels. My nerves fray with every creak. Jonah's letter is a pulse in my pocket. Then Eli finds it. A small wooden box, hidden in a hollow beneath the counter, carved with a faint musical note. Inside is a silver ring, simple but heavy, and a note in Lillian's hand, for the one who dares. Sell this, run. The soul's freedom is yours. L, a double quote. My breath catches. The ring's not just a trinket, it's a key to another step, another life. Eli's grin is fierce. She's still with us. We're about to leave when a shadow shifts outside, a boot scraping gravel. My blood runs cold. Jonah, I breathe. Eli grabs my arm, pulling me behind the counter. The door groans, a figure filling the frame. Jonah, his face haggard, eyes glinting with malice. Mara, he calls, his voice a slurred knife. You can't keep running. Eli's grip tightens, his whisper sharp. Stay down. I've got this. I shake my head, panic rising, but he's already moving, silent, grabbing a rusted pipe from the floor. Jonah stumbles closer, kicking debris, his flashlight slicing the dark. Thought you could steal a life without me? He snarls. My heart pounds, but Eli is steady, his eyes locked on mine, a silent vow. He motions for me to slip toward the back exit. I hesitate, but his nod is firm. I creep along the wall, every sound a thunderclap, as Eli circles behind Jonah. Then a crash. Eli swings the pipe, knocking the flashlight from Jonah's hand. Get out, he growls, his voice a blade. Jonah laughs, unsteady but lunges. Eli dodges, shoving him into the counter. I reach the exit, my hand on the door, but I can't leave him. I grab a loose plank, rushing back and swing it at Jonah's knees. He stumbles, cursing, and Eli tackles him, pinning him down. Go, Mara, he shouts. I hesitate, then grab a broken chair leg, swinging it at Jonah's arm. He roars, but Eli's faster, tying his wrists with a rope from the stage curtains. We drag him outside, leaving him slumped in the alley, the rain swallowing his threats. Eli calls the cops from a payphone, anonymous, reporting a drunk trespasser. We don't wait for lights or sirens. We grab the box, the ring, Lillian's note, and bolt. The hall fades behind us. Back in Charleston, we collapse in the loft, breathless, alive. The ring is appraised at $3,000, more than we dreamed. With our savings, it's enough to secure the loft for a year, to buy me a better camera, to give Eli's music room to grow. We're not just surviving now, we're building. But Jonah's reach doesn't end. A week later, another letter arrives. this one with a photo of the loft's balcony, taken from the street. You can't shut me out, Mara. My stomach lurches, and this time I show Eli. His face hardens, but his voice is calm. He's desperate. We're stronger. He insists we go to the police, file a restraining order. I hesitate. Jonah is slippery, always dodging consequences, but Eli's resolve steadies me. The officer takes our statement, promises patrols, but I know Jonah is not easily caged. Eli senses my fear, pulling me close on the balcony that night, his arm around my shoulders. He's not winning, he says, his voice a low fire. The contact sparks that old current, but we don't cross it. We don't need to. Our bond, fierce, unspoken, is enough. Lillian's ring becomes our talisman, a reminder of what we've claimed. We search her letters for more clues, finding a reference to a soul's vault in a Charleston music shop, a place Lillian might have known. We track it down, a dusty store called Raven Strings, its walls lined with guitars and violins. The owner, an old man with eyes like sea glass, recognizes the ring's description. Heard stories, he says, leading us to a back room. There, in a locked drawer, is a small ledger, Lillian's, filled with poems and a list of contacts, musicians who helped women like her escape. One name stands out, a lawyer in Asheville, still practicing. She left a network, the owner says. Use it. We contact the lawyer, a woman named Clara, who confirms the ledger's value. Lillian's contacts are a map for women running from men like your ex, she says. She offers to connect us with shelter resources, even a private investigator to track Jonah. It's a lifeline, one we didn't expect. Back in the loft, we map our next steps. The ring sale funds a deposit on a small house in Asheville, a place with a garden and an attic for Eli's music. My sketches are gaining traction, with a gallery interested in a show. Eli's composing more, his suite for Lillian nearing completion, a performance planned at the Low Country Note. One night, as the river sings outside, Eli plays Lillian's suite, the notes soaring free. I sit beside him, our shoulders touching, the loft alive with candlelight. We did it, I say, my voice soft. He turns, his eyes warm, deep. We're just starting. The air shifts, that current sparking, but we hold the line. Our bond, tangled, fierce, alive, is enough. Lillian's soul led us here, to a life we stole back. I lean against him, the music wrapping us, and for the first time, I'm not afraid of tomorrows.